Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm the author and creator of the Event Horizon Toolkit. I'm really excited to bring this to you, and I hope you're really excited to make a start and to try and actually figure out how you're going to go about using this. But before you do, let me just talk you through very briefly what you've got. So, you've got a big chunk about how you can create an event. For years and years and years, we worked on the principle of analysing magic, creative delivery, performances, business pitches, anything like that, any training around whether it was a trick, effect or a piece. We've changed that now. We've added an extra element to it, and that's where it gets really interesting. Instead of just having a trick, effect and a piece, we can now create an event. And an event is something very particular and very specific and something very exciting that your audience will remember for years, even decades later. Along with this, you get the 7 Laws of Magic. Now, the 7 Laws of Magic are based on an article that Teller of Penn and Teller did a couple of years ago. But it's my take on it, and it's my take as a performing magician of actually, well, how do these particular iconic moments that are created through events fit onto these 7 Laws of Magic. On top of that, the last section is where you get a bunch of applying magic. These are a couple of models that we've developed and that we've used personally and in our training and in coaching people to actually how they can get across their message more effectively. So as part of this, you've got the style triangle, which is a really interesting sort of breakdown about how you approach things, what your natural style is, what your aesthetic style is, what your scientific style is, and actually how you can mix and mingle those and bring them on together and sort of emphasis on one and de-emphasize on the other. You've then got the engagement grid, which is actually, well, okay, if I know how I'm going to deliver this stuff, how do I know what to say? So the engagement grid is all about things like, well, how do you engage? How do you weave together your personality, your message, your ideas together with the whole point of what you're doing? And then how do you add a jolt? How do you make something surprising that will keep people remembering this again for years later? On top of that, you've also got things like the message, your audience, the situation, and then the elements that we've looked at in the first place, the events. Along the way, there's quite literally 100 exercises. That may seem like quite a lot, but take your time with it. Work your way through it, think about it, go through the stuff, read the questions, then go for a walk, go for a break, do something like that. We recommend sort of working on it with other people who are sort of in the same position as you, or people that you respect that could contribute to what you do already. These questions and these exercises are there to reinforce the messages. On top of that, you get a bunch of video extras. This being one of them, although depends on your technical definition of what an extra is. If it's just me rambling at a camera for 10-15 minutes, who knows. But you get the McGurk, or the see here illusion. That's a really, really powerful way of demonstrating that we cannot see what we believe, but we believe what we see. And more than that, we can't experience what we believe, but we believe what we experience. That's a really powerful thing to team up with the Test Your Mindfulness video, which is full of visual illusions, different colours, different card tricks, all sorts of stuff. And as part of this toolkit, you get the license to use those. Those are completely unbranded. You can put them in whatever you want to do. You can use them with whatever training day, you can use it with whatever sales, whatever you want, you can use it for. Along with that, you get another 40 minutes of me talking about storytelling and MMIs. MMIs make up quite a big foundation of what we will talk about. These are multiple moments of interest, multiple moments of interaction, and multiple moments of insight. So on top of all of that, you also get 2 very special video extras. This is on one hand Red, Yellow, Blue, and on the other Eugene. Red, Yellow, Blue is something that I've basically been delivering for about 6, 7, maybe even 8 years now, and it's something that's sort of been refined step by step into being something really special and very significant to me. Eugene is a performance piece that takes about 15 minutes or so from beginning to end, with loads and loads of different practical principles thrown in. but effectively they're the same magical method. So you'll get to learn how I do that, how I've come up with it, how we've created it, and you get to see how you can put in the ideas from creating your event horizon to the 7 Laws of Magic to all the MMIs and all the practical stuff in the applied magic bit. Throughout the toolkit, there's also a bunch of different methods and there's a bunch of different sort of avenues that I go down. A couple of these are the sort of loose comedy rules. These are approaches to how you create something funny, how you create comedy. This is made up of 7 decades of sitcom study, all the way back to Tony Hancock and all that lot, up until probably, I don't know, something like Mrs. Brown's Boys or Citizen Khan. You also get a whole sort of workshop or whole different avenue on the inner brand. These are 7 really, really important questions. Again, another 7, you'll see why when you read the book. 7 really important questions as to how you define your inner brand. When you can define your inner brand, you can work on your outer brand. And again, that's described in loads of detail in the book. On top of that, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of YouTube clips, of references, of resources, of all sorts of videos that you can go away and you can look and that will enrich the experience so much more. Finally, at the very, very end of all this stuff, I share with you the best piece of advice that I can give after 10 years of working on my delivery, of working on my performance, of being a magician, being a comedian, doing all of this stuff and making a living from it. So, that's a very brief rundown of all the stuff you'll get, and it's crammed in. This isn't meant to be something that will take you years to go through. This will maybe take you a few weeks. If you do the exercises, it may take you a little bit longer. You can probably stuff it into a long weekend if you're really weird like me. The important bit, though, is that this is a toolkit. This is something that gives you a bunch of tools that you can go away and you can apply to loads and loads of things. Whether you have a presentation coming up, whether you need to give a best man speech or something like that, whether you have a tricky conversation that you're worrying about, whether you have a meeting with an important client, or you have something at lunch with a potential important client, whether you are going to be doing some of the magic tricks yourself, whether you're going to be doing a stand-up routine, whether you're going to be writing either non-fiction or fiction or anything like that. Any of these things, hopefully you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dozens of nuggets from the stuff that I've written and from the videos that we've recorded for you. As I say, this is something really, really exciting. It's the culmination and the combination of about 10 years working, trying to deliver stuff to hundreds of people from across the country, working as a magician, developing shows, developing all sorts of scripts and different alternatives and different approaches to how we do it and how we analyse stuff. And most importantly, trying to come up with storytelling, trying to figure out a way of communicating my message and my meaning and my point and all the metaphors in the world to either a single person or a group of people or a big group of people. That's what this is about. Creating an event horizon, creating or channeling the 7 Laws of Magic is all about giving you tools to communicate your ideas, your messages, and your meaning. And hopefully, by going through all of this, by watching me talk, going through all the different stuff, using the magic, using the illusions, using all these sorts of things, you will be able to add a little bit more magic into your life. I hope you're excited to get your hands on the Event Horizon Toolkit. I hope you're really interested in seeing what you can do with creating events, with applying magic, and with applying the 7 Laws of Magic. If you want to find out more, either scroll down, have a look at the information below, or visit mindsways.com/EHT. Address there. I hope. Okay, I look forward to working with you, I look forward to sharing these ideas, and I look forward to adding a little bit more magic into your life. Thank you.